Welcome to The Secret Podcast. This is episode 1 of The Secret Podcast. My name is Joe Van. I'll be your host on this adventure / interview / conversation that I'm going to be having. Today I got my first guest whose identity will be kept a secret. Guest number 1, please say hello.
Who am I?
Who? I really want to know. Anyway, that's for you, the audience, to find out. As time passes, we'll definitely say each other's names because it's easier for conversation, but otherwise, I ain't telling you. You're going to find out on your own. Okay, so guest number 1. Hey, how's it going? How's your day?
Pretty good.
Pretty good so far?
Yeah.
Are you nervous to be on?
Maybe,
yeah. I'm definitely nervous doing the first one because I'm not, I'm going to keep to the whole one-take scenario. I don't want to get into editing. 1, because I'm lazy. 2, because it's more authentic when there's no cuts, right? Because who knows if I cut out some part where you're saying something super serious and then, or super funny or whatever. It's just easier when it's one take. So That's how we're going to do it. It's going to be 1 hour long. So let's just get to it.
Do it.
Question number 1. What is your profession?
I am a marketing coordinator.
Very nice. For an undisclosed company. yeah, nice. Gotta keep everything a mystery. True. So it's, that's a good place to start. Also, how old are you?
I am 24 years old.
So you're young. You don't have any kids?
No.
Do you own a living space?
No.
So you're just like me, super, super young.
I'm not that young.
Yeah, we're both adults.
Freeloading off my parents.
That's true, and I am too. But yeah, we're the I don't know, kids, I guess, of today's world, where it's the older you get, the
millennials.
Yeah, I guess. Because what are millennials though? Shouldn't a millennial start at the dawn of the new millennium, 2000?
Mm-mm.
We were born before then, no?
I think it starts
Like at 89.
Yeah, or something like that.
All right, I'd buy it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because we're not really 90s kids. We're 90s babies. I was 7 years old when 2000 happened, so it's not like I have a lot of memories from the 90s.
No.
I have more memories from the 2000s. All right, yeah, I'll take that. Question number 2, which is going to be kind of silly asking, but are you in a relationship?
I am indeed.
You're in a relationship. Very nice. What could you tell us who it is?
Who I'm in a relationship with?
Yeah.
This fine fella.
A fine fella? All right, I'll take that. Are you in a serious relationship, or are you just swinging, You just open a relationship?
We are monogamous.
We're monogamous. Very nice. Sounds good. So I'm jealous. Wish I was in it. Very nice. All right, I got another question for you. How was your early life? That's a super vague question. It was pretty good? Yeah. If you could...
said about my day today.
Yeah, well, hey, if they're both good,
no complaints. Good. I had a very well upbringing.
Very good. No crime.
No crime. No traumatic events. Nice. Just love.
Just love. That's good. And then you turned into such a lovely person. So.
Oh, thank you.
There you go, mystery person. I got another question for you here. Are you a working person at heart?
Yes.
You are? I guess in a way everyone is.
I am lazy, but everyone is lazy, I feel like.
Well, but would you start a project just to work?
If I was not working for long enough.
Yeah.
I can't go too long without doing anything or I go crazy.
Yeah.
I have to keep busy. But because I'm so busy now.
Yeah.
At my job and everything, when I have that free time, I just don't do anything.
Straight to laziness.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm the same way. And I guess more of what I mean by that question is
I think I am though.
Yeah.
Because in school and everything,
that's
I
true.
was part of a million committees.
You were extracurricular.
I did so much.
Yeah.
Most people when they're young, I feel like
they
don't do anything. But I've been just doing so much volunteer work from a young age.
Yeah. Very nice. That's good. That's a good answer. Because it's I don't know, what I was thinking in my head when I was asking this is if the person is the type of that would like start a business or something, where it's like you make work for yourself kind of thing. Like even, your dad working on a basement project, something like that.
Yeah.
But obviously there's different forms of work. And plus, yeah, like you said, when school was around, you were like completely in everything and anything you could put yourself into. You did. So yeah, I believe it. Even though it's like, anytime we're hanging out, it's just like lazy central. But we're not lazy, so it's like, why are we not? Mr. Person. Anyway, next question. What do you think about destiny? So, now it's getting a little close to home.
What do I think about destiny?
Yeah, what do you think about destiny? Like, do you think it's real? Does destiny exist in the universe? Do you believe in a predetermined path? No? So you don't think there's a set path for you?
No.
Everything's random.
I mean, I don't know if it's random. I think things happen as a matter, like from
consequence.
Yeah, like from what you do in your life.
Yeah. Go straight to the quote. Decisions. Consequences. Yeah. Then, okay. Yeah. So, but it's like a lightning storm could just strike you and kaput. Yeah,
but I don't think anything is set for me. I don't think what I do, it's like, oh, this was already going to happen. So, no.
Yeah, because that would be like an outside of time perspective where it's like your future is already happened and now you're just towing the line. So everything you do, you're always going to do, and there's no way that you could have any say this way or that. It's like you don't believe in that.
I don't.
You believe that everything is random, but we live in a human world, right? We live in society. We're not like living in the jungle somewhere. So we do have relationships with other people, and through that you have reputation. There are consequences to your actions. You have, Yeah. It's like having relationships with other people does set up a precedent for yourself. So like a self-made destiny or whatever, right? Like you can decide your own destiny, I guess.
Yeah.
From that aspect. Yeah, like if I want to achieve greatness, I'm going to do that by having relationships with people, right? And climbing a ladder.
Yeah, you can't just do nothing and then achieve something.
Yeah, you got to put your, foot to the pavement.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Next one. What do you think about Canadian history?
What do I think about it? I don't know much about it.
You don't know much about it?
I'm not a history person.
Yeah, but all of us had to take history.
As much as my mom would hate me saying that.
No, well, she's into like British history.
She's into all
specifically.
History.
All history?
I don't really pay attention to history. I saw the movie Passchendaele. That's about it.
Yeah. I thought like when I watched it, because I watched it in theaters. Did you do the same thing where the
school
field trip? Yeah. It's great. Talk about like nationality pride and all that, right? It's like, yo, they made a movie about Canadian history. We're pulling all the kids out of class and we're going to go to the movie theater and watch it. Yeah, because that's literally what my school did. I know, I loved it. When I was watching that, it was like, I was expecting it to be boring and lame, like a documentary where it's like, and then the Canadians went to France and Belgium and yada yada. But it's like, it was theatrical. That part surprised me when I first saw it. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, dude's getting blown away with machine guns and then he stabs that little German kid in the head. It's like the first 5 minutes of the movie and I was like, whoa!
Yeah, I don't even remember the movie, so...
But that's your extent of history, Canadian history, is just Passchendaele.
Yeah.
Which didn't even happen in Canada. Yeah. That's where the poppies come from. Yeah. Because it was, I should know where Passchendaele is off the top of my head. But I'm quite sure it's in Belgium. And that's where the poppies grow, even though they also grow in France. It's the same thing as like geese. It's like everyone thinks that should be the Canadian national bird, even though it's gray jays. But it's like because there's also geese in America. Mm-hmm. Same with the poppies. But I'm pretty sure Belgium was where Passchendaele happened. World War II, man, must have sucked. Was it World War II or World War I? It was World War I. 1917.
Edit that out.
No, there's no editing. Anyway, 1917, Passchendaele, lest we forget. That's why we were the poppies every Remembrance Day. God bless Canada, or whatever the Queen tells us to say. So that's that one.
Great.
Not much of a history buff.
No.
Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to be. That was in the past. Just don't redo history, which seems to be happening in America, but nobody really cares. They're like, let's just get a tyrannical guy to run the country and go to town. Not that I have any political views. I'm a host. I have to be objectionable. Next question for you. Do you enjoy still art? So what I mean by that question is not movies, music. Paintings, etchings, anything that's just a freeze frame.
I would say no.
Not really.
I don't think I can appreciate it like other people can. If I visit a gallery or something, I don't like.
You just
I don't
walk through
feel
it.
anything.
Yeah. What about sculptures though? Like when you walk around Toronto, do you think it's better that we have those sculptures in the corner streets, or do you not care? It could just not be
I
there
don't. I think appreciate them on. I don't
on an
like
artistic
an
level.
artistic level, but I think having them there is cool. Like as
Yeah.
opposed to not having them, I think
Just not
having them adds like some culture,
Some
right?
personality to
Yeah.
things. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you understand the appreciation.
I
But you
can
don't
understand why
personally.
people would be into it. I'm just not into it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. So what are you into then?
In
I mean,
general,
I already know, like music.
like the
What
classic,
captures you?
the classic cliche interests. Music, movies, sports, hanging out with people.
Hanging out with
It's
friends.
pretty
Yeah.
cliche.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like something being cliche. That's the one thing that would get me. Some like a cliche is used in such a negative term in today's society, or just in modern kids' culture, or whatever. We're like, oh, that's such a cliche. Like that's gross or that's stupid or whatever. But cliches are the same as stereotypes with certain people, where it's like it's not a bad thing for it to exist. It exists because so many people do it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a kinship. It like brings people together because it's so common.
Yeah.
I guess it's just if it's ham over fist
I just
cliche,
don't have
then it's
any off the
exhausting.
wall interests or.
Yeah, you're not into spelunking.
Nah.
You're not into
Do I have any weird interests? I don't
like
think so. Uncommon ones? No.
no, you like going to concerts. You love
I'm
going to
pretty
concerts.
basic.
No, but in the best way possible. I mean, hey, I wouldn't, I'd rather hang out with you all day every day than someone who had really particular interests but didn't have a personality. So where you lack in specific, unique interests, you gain in just your amazing personality.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's just who you are is good enough. Do you have a hobby that you would dive into if you had the time or money?
That I'm not currently doing?
No. Or maybe that you do but super minimalist. Like I guess concert going. If money and time wasn't an issue, it's like
Well,
hiking the Alps, like stuff like that. What would you dive into? Like the number one hobby that you would dive into?
maybe. Well, I mean, look, I'm not currently doing it for a reason. I guess I'm not interested enough, but if I
You have
had all the time in the world, I
Yeah.
would like to think I would learn another language.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Like when I started learning sign language in university, I really liked it and I loved going to those classes, but they were only once a week for like half an hour. So it was
Yeah.
hard to actually
Get into it.
learn that much.
Yeah.
Like I really only know the alphabet and like that would be something that I would love to continue learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get it all down. Very nice. Very good. Okay, here we go. Get ready for the
I'm not ready.
divisive
My body's not
questions. No. This is an easy question, and it doesn't matter if someone disagrees with it because
Okay.
it's super easy. What is your political view?
Controversial. Can you be more
You can be more than one
specific?
thing. Just the field, like from left to right. So not the specific party class, but just from left to right. Where would you place yourself on the politometer?
Okay.
Like the farthest of right is obviously like super racist, neo-Nazi, doesn't believe in technology, Christian, crazy
So
person.
more on the left.
And then the extreme left, though, is gender fluid, white person hating, immigration
Wait, so what's
loving.
the middle?
Well, the middle would just be the middle's the gray area because there's no clear define of the middle. There's a clear define of both extremes.
Well, I'm not either extreme.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, would you be more like left center, close to left but not extreme left, or the other way on the right?
I don't know. Like, I guess
Like right in between extreme and center.
left.
Yeah.
I guess,
But would you be dead center between center and left, do you think? Like, would you put yourself more...
I don't know. I don't know enough about it to classify
all the topics, I guess.
myself as something, because I don't want to be ignorant on it. Like, I
you
don't
could turn out that you're more...
know what I classify myself as. It really is just a day-to-day thing with, like, the leaders and that we have in the world. and who I agree and disagree with.
Yeah.
So.
But it's pretty basic to say that most young people are left-leaning.
Yeah, that's why I say that, because the leaders I tend to agree with are left.
Yeah, because usually, like, it's began, like, for me, I feel like it began falling apart in like 2013 in universities, but before that, the left being just like dead left was like, the ideal to strive towards, like, pro science, pro progression, pro everything, and then it started to collapse with the growth of communism and like creating like a reverso on the hierarchy and social scales, where it's like now, all white people have to be hated because they're the oppressors. Like it became an identity politics oppression thing, where it's like before then, like in the 90s and 2000s, it was like pretty solid, where it's like the left is where you go for, like lawful on guns, abortion, anything pro science, anything, like helping the everyman kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like people have to start, like, I feel like everybody's getting closer to the middle because of the extremities, just the radicalization of both extremes, and especially because the internet. That's probably why you think 90s and 2000s, you think early internet. Social media took over, and now anybody who used to just be insane now has a voice and can collect. You got the moon truthers, you got the flat earthers, any sort of insane idea that someone has, they can now find people and then collect and now become strong and have a voice.
Right.
So for all we know, people who are on the extremes are like a supreme minority. And then, it's like the majority of people are more into the center, whether it's left or right, but are more rational than the voices that are usually being heard online or in the news or whatever. But yeah, so hard to define, left to center.
Mm-hmm.
When did you have a turn in your life? Like, or did you? And I'll give you an example with me. It's like I hurt my back in 2013, and that got me into writing. I was out from the injury, and I had a crazy idea, so I started writing about it, and, now I write all the time. I write every day. So that's specific, and that is what I would consider the only, like, big turn that I ever had in my life that changed my passion or my character or anything, right? Because you could have none.
I can't think of anything.
Nothing, no dramatic thing happened in your life that changed the course of who you are.
Let's go back to where I said I was basic.
Yeah, so...
I'm so basic, I don't know.
But that's fine, because it's like some people could have, like, tons of turns in their life. Like, especially when I started interviewing people who were older than the two of us. It's like, I'm sure from them, it's like, this happened when they were 20, then this happened when they were 30.
Yeah,
like, all these crazy life changes.
I've been on a pretty similar path.
Yeah. Plus,
since school, like high school.
Yeah, like, I think, like, moving out would be the first big life-changing event that might actually change, like, who you are. And then having kids and whatever, right? Like, those big things are usually the turn.
Yeah, I feel like I've pretty much been the same person.
Yeah. Which is
have the same interests.
You've held the same ground.
Yeah.
All the way. You're pretty solid.
That's like whenever anyone is like, "Oh, what's new with you?" I'm like, "Same old, same old." Like literally, it's always the same. I haven't changed.
You're very consistent. You're very true to the point of Like if I were to have disappeared and then come back 10 years later and ask you what's up.
Same thing.
Different prime minister. That's about it. Yeah, I'm just doing the same thing.
I feel like my answers are really boring. I
don't
have strong opinions about anything.
No, but like with learning a new language, who's going to come up with that?
Probably everyone.
Whatever. And plus, we're just having a conversation, and this is the first episode. Like, I'll have you on probably in future situations
where being more interesting.
No, where my questions will be different and stuff like that. Plus, we're just chit-chatting, right?
Yeah.
It can be serious. It can be light. I could not ask any of these questions, or we could just shoot the shit about whatever. You can just do anything.
Oh, can you swear on this podcast?
Well, I'm the host. I'm going to keep it to a minimum, but I'm still going to do it, right? Like, I don't want to PG myself. But I think in normal conversations...
You won't hear any of that from me. That's another clue as to who I am.
For anyone who doesn't just know your voice. Because otherwise, like, if they either know your voice, they know who you are.
I should disguise my voice.
I'll put a modulator on it. Yeah, sure. I don't know how to do that, but okay, what else I got here? What is your favorite franchise/movie? So the reason I put the slash there is because obviously those are two different things, so you will have two different answers for it. then some people might just not know what
I
a
mean,
movie
I don't
franchise
think I
is.
have a favorite franchise. I'm not passionate about any franchise.
You don't have a number one.
No.
But when you think of a franchise that you go to every single movie, it's not going to be
Well, all
Pirates
the
of the Caribbean.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't been much of a franchise person in the past.
Yeah, like Friday the 13th never really gripped you.
No, like Star Wars, I could care less about.
Yeah, same.
Harry Potter, I watched them all, but I wasn't obsessed like everyone else is.
Yeah, well, yeah, my cousin with my cousin that I have, of the many that I have, was super, super obsessed with Harry Potter, and she read like every book 20 times over, and like, yeah, saw the movies and was like super passionate about it. So
Yeah, and then all the
that.
other ones I haven't been super into. You mentioned Pirates of the Caribbean. I only seen the first one, and that was like a couple of years ago.
Jurassic Park, no.
So I think that the Avengers movies are
the closest.
That's the only. I think that's like the only franchise that I have seen like every movie in theaters.
Yeah.
So I guess Iron Man, because the Iron Man ones are my favorite.
No. Well, the Slash is unrelated. So
unrelated to franchise, my favorite movie,
yeah,
as you know, is The Dark Knight.
Of course.
The greatest movie ever.
Yeah. Hard to beat.
10 out of 10. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it has like a 96 or 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that still angers me to this day because it should be 100%.
Yeah, well, hey, I was going to say, Get Out's better than that, and 8th Grade is better than that, because I think 8th Grade is 99% now.
I mean, it'll go down.
You think it'll go down?
Yeah, over time.
Well, now that it's wide release, probably.
But think about Dark Knight. A movie like 8th Grade, I'm sure it's great, but like it is not as, I don't know, complex.
Timeless and complex, yeah.
As The Dark Knight.
Political issues
like,
that complex.
There is so much more that could have gone wrong with a movie like The Dark Knight.
Yeah, because it's juggling so many different ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah, and concepts and themes.
And
that make an amazing story.
Done so well.
Yeah, it's great. Now, what is your favorite artist/song? So I think I know the favorite artist, even though I'm sure you do have a handful.
I don't know who my number one is.
Okay. Then
artist? I don't. It's hard. It changes a lot, and I think I have a handful of favorites.
Yeah, you do.
There's not just one. Should I just name some of them?
I'll give you two.
Okay.
Name two.
Name two of my favorite artists.
I know it's gonna be hard. You don't get a top three. Top two.
Okay, I feel like my go-to is always Tokyo Police Club.
Oh yeah,
because I've loved them for so long, and their music is so consistent with me. Like every album they release, it's great.
Yeah.
And it's been like so many years now where I haven't fallen out with them.
Yeah.
So I can't even think right now. I don't even know who the other one would be.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we'll take that as the only one. So it's locked in.
No.
It's okay. It's like you already explained yourself. All right, now song.
My favorite song I have.
You actually do have one.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say that's impossible because I don't. But okay, what do you got?
My favorite song ever is "Tiny Dancer" by Elton John.
Okay, you're gonna go with the childhood pick. That's what I'm gonna call that. Favorite forever?
Childhood pick? No, that only became my favorite like as an adult.
But after listening to it 100 times through your parents. But yeah.
It wasn't my favorite when I was a kid. It became my favorite as I grew
into
older.
it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, solid pick. I mean, me, it's like, I'm sure I heard it tons of times when I was a kid, but obviously didn't know who Elton John was until Rocket Man, because you know me, I love space. So I hear that song, and it's like, Rocket Man! And I'm like, oh, he's gay? Why does he sing about having a wife at home? And because obviously as a kid, that's just a basic curiosity kind of question. And then, and then that's when I learned Freddie Mercury was gay, because for me, it's like Queen's like my number one, if we're talking about people from like the 80s or whatever. And then, I don't know, like, it's not like I had a negative reaction to that, just I did not expect that reaction where I'm like, oh, what? Because I just, like, when you're a kid, you just assume that everyone's like you. So it's not even like I'm being like homophobic or anything, but it's like, when you're a kid, like, I literally didn't know girls have vaginas. I just thought they had penises like me. Like, I just thought everyone was like me, except they just looked different. Like, my mom had long hair. That was it. So it's like, as I grew up, it's like, and, I was like 8 years old listening to Beethoven and listening to Queen. And I'm like, wow, Queen's got crazy hair. And then it's like, oh, and the lead singer is gay. And then it's just like I knew the concept of gay, and I'm like, what? Like, what? I was like, all right. That's basically it. I just thought I'd share my childhood experience. Anyway, where are we here? Who would you wish to meet? Fictional or historical wise. So who would you love to meet who you cannot meet now? So you can't say like Deadpool because that's Ryan Reynolds and he's alive. It's like who just isn't alive anymore.
Who's
So it could be,
that I can't, that I want to meet?
or fictional. So it's like they could be someone who just died. Like it could be Michael Jackson. Or it could be, Cleopatra, other than.
You're going to have such a lame answer because I don't have anyone that has like historical
Significance. It doesn't matter. No, it could be someone from the 80s. I don't know.
I guess like Gandhi, but no, my answer alive would be Kristen Bell and fictional would be Veronica Mars.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Gandhi or Veronica Mars. Okay,
no, Gandhi's a lame answer. I was just saying like someone who was actually like done something.
Did something, yeah. Who helped movement and helped the world in some ways. Yeah.
But
that's still an answer.
My like fangirl in me is like,
of course.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can only meet her as the character of Veronica Mars. So she would not be acting the way that she acts now. She doesn't love sloths. She isn't married to Dax.
Well, you haven't seen Veronica Mars yet, so I understand your reaction.
Spoilers?
But Veronica Mars is great.
I know. I'm just saying, you would only hang out with her as the character. I
don't love Kristen Bell because she likes sloths.
Okay. You love her because she's a PI. All right, well, yeah, solid answer. Okay, this one I already know the answer. And it's like, I don't expect a lot of different answers out of this. Maybe only one or two people would have a different answer for this. But what is your relationship with violence in your life?
What is my relationship with
violence? Yeah.
And it doesn't exist?
In your mind, in your soul. Yeah, it doesn't exist. You're not a violent person.
No. Is someone going to admit that they are?
No. And not just violent. Well, no, everybody is. It's like breathing. It's like everybody has violence in them. It's like stored in your primal.
I am not violent whatsoever. I actually wish I was like more violent because I have like, I want to know what it's like to get in a fight. Yeah, it's just like not a serious one, just like at a bar, like just a stupid fight. Like, but I don't have it in me. Whenever I see anyone get heated, start like yelling at each other,
just got a cool situation.
I like get so uncomfortable. I'm like, why are they yelling? Why is everyone being so mean? Like, why can't we all just be nice to each other?
You wish they could get in that monkey
like at soccer. When people yell at each other at soccer, it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm like, why?
But if you were
this is just for fun.
Yeah. But if it was you, you'd be in it. You'd want to hit someone.
Like, but I never would. I would never actually like get to that place. Maybe in my head, I'd be like, "Oh, like screw that person. Oh, I want to hit them." I would never actually do it.
Yeah. And then a part two to the question would be like, do you like? So you're not a violent person, but do you sort of enjoy violence? Not if you'd want to see a fight live,
like
but
extreme
action movies. Or something like The Raid.
Well, like The Raid, I can appreciate. It's a really good movie because of like the choreography.
Because it's like,
but it is very disturbing.
Yeah. So it does disturb you. It's not. You're not totally cool.
Yeah. Like John Wick, that disturbs me. Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. It disturbs me. It's so disturbing. I don't know how it could not disturb someone, but I can appreciate the action and the movie magic of it all because I know that they're not actually like.
Doing it.
You
know it's fictional.
Yeah.
You can tell CGI.
If I saw that in real life, I would be horrified.
Roll up or something. Yeah. It's like people like as far as I know, everybody has the potential for whatever, right? Like that's what war brought out in people is the potential for violence. Where it's like someone who, like Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan, he was a school teacher, and then they forced him on the front lines because he was an able-bodied man, and then he had to find that sort of violence in himself in order just to survive. And then the whole, like the ideology doesn't have to come with most people, especially if you're whatever it's called. It's called scripted or enlisted or no, it's not listed, but whatever it is.
Enlisted to
inscribed. Yeah, but what's the one where you're forced?
Isn't that what it's called? Enlisted?
Okay. Yeah, no, should look it up. But yeah, so when you're forced into it, I'm going to assume most people don't have the actual national ideology that you need in order to win a war, where it's like, I'm doing this for my country because I love my country. It's mostly just, I love my family and I don't want to die, so I'm going to try and, I have no choice to be in this war because the government forced me to, so now I'm just going to try and do whatever it takes to survive. And yeah, it's like, so I think most people are super well-mannered and would never hurt a fly, but put in a situation can unleash this beast inside them. Mostly men, though, obviously, because that's what testosterone does.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get hot-blooded and the adrenaline starts kicking, you can access this sort of animal zone where you just see red.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go nuts. And it's literally like being on a truck. Like, you get high, and it's your mind getting into this, like, monkey state where you just become violent. People grunting, screaming, clapping fists or whatever the kids say nowadays. Clap cheeks. Or is that a sexual reference? I think it's a fighting one and a sexual one, but it's like clapping cheeks means like, or throwing hands or whatever they're saying. Anyway, so just no violence, and you can appreciate movies for the choreography, but it would completely disturb you in real life.
Yes.
If like to see a fight, like an MMA fight or something, you would not enjoy that.
No, I don't get joy out of watching
two people fight.
People beat each other up.
Yeah.
That doesn't bring me happiness.
Okay. All right, that's all stuff. It's good that it doesn't bring you happiness, That's how the world becomes a better place with less violence. Like, the only reason you can rationalize violence is because it's a violent world. So it's like, is it just going to keep perpetuating itself, Or are we going to be able to get to a point where there's no more violence, right? Because it's a clash of ideas, like religion wars and stuff that happened hundreds of years ago, and I guess are technically still happening now in the Middle East. If we could find a way to just cohabitate, maybe that'll stop the violence. Who knows? I mean, it's hardwired in, so probably not. It's an evolution thing. We would have to, yank our whole brain out. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to get rid of it, but policing apparently does work, and there's statistics where people don't think it is, or they think police are terrible people, or whatever. There was, I forget who said it, but there was some scholar out there who said, if aliens from Mars were to, come over the orbit of the Earth and watch us for 10,000 years, and then, pinpoint Los Angeles today and look at the crime rates that happen there, because obviously it's massive compared to most other cities, right, metropolis-wise. They would view, LA or Chicago or whatever as the norm, if looking at 10,000 years of humanity. Because of how low violent we are now, but we just don't realize how good we have it. Where it's police have stopped crime in such a major way, and that's the only thing that stops crime. It's not like if you just try to get people to relate to each other, whatever. It's no, it's on the individual basis. It's the fear of authority that stops crimes, right. Whether it's robbery or just assault.
Maybe we think it's not good enough because of how aware we are
of how good it could be. It's once with the concepts in our head, especially growing up as a kid, you're sheltered so much more.
Right and wrong is. So we think it could be better.
Yeah. So we don't appreciate how
far we've come.
Yeah, and how bad it could be if the world went into martial law tomorrow for whatever reason. Let's say Canada and Australia decide to attack England for some reason. Yeah. They're we don't want to be part of the motherland.
Plus, I also think it's more about the injustice.
Yeah, just the aspect of it. Oh, like I was talking about earlier with injustice, that makes me angry. That makes me want to become violent. Injustice. If 12 Years a Slave, watching that movie made me so upset. I'm never gonna watch the movie again. Even though it was beautifully shot and acted, and the message in this, because I believe it was a true story. The story that it portrayed was a super important one, just to show us how far we've come from that disgusting history. But watching that movie made me so angry because so obviously what is right, and you're just watching all of this wrong stuff happen, and all these people just getting away with doing all this terrible stuff. And it's it invokes not a moral panic, but just anger. Yeah, just disgust. So the concept, I guess, of right and wrong. Now that we get to be able to at least see glimpses of a world where it could be completely crime-free, and then it's but all this terrible stuff's happening, and all these wars are happening overseas, and yada, yada. It's we can do better.
Yeah, just because we know that the bad things that are happening
are preventable.
Exactly.
It's just
and that's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's just a manner of willpower. Like if we could just make AIs cops, robot cops, RoboCop, if you will, except without the human part, just the robot. You just have all of that. No more fear of death. So you just have police not accidentally shoot someone because they're scared that they're going for their gun.
No prejudice.
The cop would just be like, show me your license, you're speeding. And then you show the license or whatever, and they go, okay. And then the person can shoot the robot, because the robot's not going to be scared of getting shot. So it's just going to not pull its gun or anything, and it's just going to get shot. But then, like, the other robot's going to chase down the person, perpetrator, and take him out and say, you killed a cop. Even though it's not a human, you still go to jail. Who knows? Just spitballing some ideas. So, hey, if any important person in the, Canadian offices of government are listening. I don't know politics, man. I wish I did. What would you call that?
What?
Parliament? If anyone from Parliament's listening. RoboCop.
Ooh,
RoboCop.
listen to this podcast.
Yeah. Yo, Justin, hit me up. Would you risk going on an adventure? And why?
Would I risk going on an adventure? What kind of adventure?
It's the call to action. So that's the thing. There's a large unknown. Like there's this funny tweet that I saw where someone's like, I saw this pamphlet when I was in the hospital, and it was just like sitting on the counter, and I look over and the pamphlet said, would you like to live forever? And so all of a sudden I got this amazing call to action, and it's like, I'm not gonna not take that adventurous chance. Like, what if it's vampires offering me an opportunity to live forever? It's like, I can't say no to that kind of adventure. And then he turns over and it's like, believe in Jesus. It's like, the South duped me again. But something like that. Someone comes knocking your door and offers you some sort of super vague, mysterious opportunity. No.
I have to know.
You are risk adverse.
I have to know what is involved. I need to know the details. I can't just blindly do something.
Well, okay, so what if this is hard because of what your interests are? Okay, let's say there's an exploration team going out into Antarctica or something, and they need a social media person, and that's going to be you. They don't know what they're going to find. They don't know what dangers await them because they're going looking for like a lost civilization or something.
How much am I getting paid? How long am I going to be gone
$1 million.
What's my living situation like?
Super comfortable.
Like, I need to know.
I just gave you all
these questions.
Yes or no?
But that's what I'm saying. It depends.
But all of that, what do you say?
If they get $1 million, I'm super comfortable. There's no risk at all.
No, you don't know when you're coming back. And yes, there is a risk.
I don't know when I'm coming back.
Yeah, no idea.
No.
They don't know how long the trip is going to be.
So it could be like 100 years.
Possibly.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so you're not going to go on the adventure.
No.
So that's it. Yeah. So you're not going to go for the adventure.
No, I have to know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, you're very, very risk averse. It's a survival mechanism. It's kept you alive this long, so it's good. It's good that you have it. Just
I am not spontaneous whatsoever.
No, you will not take the call to action.
Nope. No thanks.
No, thank you.
Peace.
Okay, so this one's interesting, and I honestly don't know how you're going to answer it, so I'm very curious to find out. So, you've played the game Never Have I Ever before, I do believe.
Yes.
So, what would be your Never Have I Ever that you would like to do, and a Never Have I Ever that you will never do?
That's such a hard question to think of on the spot. I can never think of Never Have I Ever's when I'm playing
Just
the
in
game.
general. No, but this one's like, you could choose an easy one for that you'll never do. Like, I'm pretty sure you're never going to go skydiving or, there's certain things that you just will never do. You're not going to jump in a volcano.
No.
That's a dumb one because you just die, but it's like something that's risky.
Bungee jump?
Yeah, so something risky. But what about a Never Have I Ever that you would like to do? Like a bucket list. What have you never done that you'd like to do?
Successfully swallow pills.
Okay. That's mundane, but that is original. Like that's a solvable.
I think stuff like, go to New Zealand.
Traveling, I guess, but a Never Have I Ever is more experience based. Even though that is an experience, that's more of just, hiking, but just in a different place.
I would like to.
Honestly,
so
I think I think you answered it.
My
The
pill question?
Yeah.
This is a lame answer.
No, it's completely original. I don't think anyone's going to say that. Well, maybe another guest I have would say something like that. Because he also cannot swallow pills. I don't think he's going to say that, though, but you never know. Okay, next question. And okay, so this one, I literally won't be able to ask anyone who is older than us, like in their 30s or 40s or whatever. It really only works for people who are still sort of young in life. So this is like a would you rather. Okay. Would you rather live a life of luxury but without love, or would you choose love but be, live in, low middle class, not poverty, but money's always a concern.
Probably choose the love option. Yeah. Have love and not live great.
Yeah, because that is something.
Like when you say that, can I not even like love anyone? Like I'm just.
Yeah, it would.
But would I be aware? Like, would I have the feeling of wanting love and I just can't do it? Or am I going to be rich and like not even know what it feels like to love? Because then you're like ignorant to it.
You don't even miss anything.
So yeah, you're not going to miss it.
There's no downside. Obviously, there should be a downside. So
yeah. So do you mean like I'd be living rich, but I would like be aware that I don't have love and that it's missing in my life?
Yeah, like maybe let's say that this is a wish, the would you rather, and when the luxury one comes true, it'd be like the movie The Phantom Thread, just because that's a recent movie.
I would be like aware that I'm alone.
Yeah, and you would date, but with the wish coming true, it changes your psychology so that even though you want love, because everyone does, it's not like you're aching for it or anything, but it's like in general you just want love, and then so you start dating someone, but then you find all these flaws in them, and like you don't feel that spark, no matter who it is. It could be like a 10 out of 10, the perfect match for you, your soulmate, but you just can't. They always like get on your nerves, or you always find something wrong with them, and you just never find love. And then obviously the second one would be you feel love every single day, but every day is a struggle.
Yeah, that one.
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, a younger me would have chose luxury, 17, 18-year-old me, but yeah, obviously love is the meaning of life.
Exactly. Material things
isn't worth it. They're dry and hollow compared to love. Yeah. Love's that ooey feeling inside. That's like, ooh, that's why I'm alive. Yeah, it's great. It's a good question. This one, I don't think I'm going to ask anybody this. I'll ask you just for jokes, because I got you. You're my first guest. Save your mom or your dad?
I'm not going to answer that.
Are you going to flip a coin? Is that your way to answer it? Because it's one of those things.
Gun to my head?
Yeah, gun to your head. You got to choose. You say, I don't know, I love both of them equally, and flip a coin.
I mean, I guess it depends on what their first state of health is.
They're both totally healthy.
Who has a chance of living longer?
Both of them equal amount.
So now this is a made-up scenario, because my parents do have different health.
Well, yeah, obviously it's a made-up scenario. They're not actually in danger.
I know, but in this scenario, they don't have their current state of health and living.
Then the healthier one gets to the equal amount of sickness.
Well, if they're on completely equal levels, then I'd flip a coin. I'm not going to choose.
And then once you do that, you go, one or the other one. It's too late. You made a choice. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a dumb one, right? I'm not going to ask anybody that.
Yeah.
Hey, a mom or dad. Save your mom or your dad. Like, if you were to ask me, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Pop's a piece of shit. He's going up the
window. I'm going to save him!
So I'm going to save him just to torment him now. Now, we're just about at the end of the questions.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Now it's time for your opinion.
Dun, 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 dun,
Are you ready?
Dun, dun. Yeah, ready.
All right. What is your opinion on legacy?
I don't care.
Not like a So you don't care if you have kids or to be remembered after you die? Do you care about being remembered? Or you just...
I I don't have an ego, so no.
Okay, hey, there you go. Everybody has an ego. You have a very low ego.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I have kids, I want them to remember me, obviously.
But you wouldn't care to be remembered in general?
Like as people, on your dying bed, other than my family?
Kids. Yeah.
No.
No, okay. Yeah, that's solid. Okay, so legacy is...
I want my friends and family to obviously, miss me in a way that was wow, it was great having her in our lives and provided, laughs and heart and fun and blah blah blah, but like I don't need to like
You don't feel the need to be remembered.
no, and like I want to do good things in the world. It would be great. Like my dream is to like work not for like a non-profit, profit. I'd love to contribute to the world, but not for the purpose of being remembered. Just for like the purpose of helping others and having that like sensation of feeling good about what I'm doing.
Just in the moment while being alive, yeah. And plus, when you think about it, like so many people with such greater influence than us that we will ever have in our lives did it for the sole purpose of well, probably immediate pleasure, but then also to be remembered forever, like Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan, all of these insane warlords, just because most people remembered are warlords, even though now we're getting to a point where great people are starting to be remembered, like Gandhi. But all of these people, and I'm going to guess maybe a sliver of a sliver, are actually remembered. Because there's so much prehistory that was destroyed. But obviously the game's changed now that we got computers. But even then, it's like, what happens if a volcano blows up the world, you know? Or like, we have that satellite that we sent out into space. Everybody saying hello on that will be remembered. I think that's 27 different languages or something. Because it's like, how far do we go as far as being remembered goes? To infinity and beyond? Like, how wide is someone's vision of legacy?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, Bill Gates will probably be remembered forever.
Yeah.
Just because he'll be in history textbooks. So even like 100,000 years from now, when the idea of humans are abstract to the creatures that evolved from us, I don't think we'll change that much. But yeah, it'll be like, oh, and this guy Bill Gates is the guy who is to thank for, starting up what we now know as the internet, cyberspace, that we all live in a new dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. Plus, you know me, I don't like attention, so.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I don't think people are remembering me.
Yeah, that's great. What is your opinion on marriage? For it, against it?
I am for it if that's what people want. I'm not. If people don't want to get married, that's their choice, and that's fine.
So yeah, not forced marriage, and not no marriage.
Yeah, I'm just for whatever people want to do. It's
no. How about you?
Their life.
You want to get married one day?
I think so.
Yeah, you'd rather get married than not married.
Yeah, but if it doesn't happen, it's not like.
You're not gonna force it just to be
exactly.
married.
Yeah, no.
But you.
I think the concept, yeah.
It works.
Yeah, but I could also like see like being just like in a long-term relationship and like maybe never getting married, but like having the same commitment.
Yeah, like what's his name? Gene Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did get married though eventually.
Oh, just because of the TV show probably. But he went had two kids, went 20, 30 years just with a girlfriend. I
could see that, but then at the same time, maybe I'd be like, well, it's been so long, so like, why not?
Seal the deal.
Get married.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like my opinion changes every day. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I would like to get married, yes.
You would accept if someone proposed to you that you loved.
If I wanted to, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so you would accept marriage. You wouldn't reject marriage. Because there are people who are totally opposed and say marriage is gross and I never want to get married.
Right.
So you're not in that camp.
No.
Yeah.
But I would definitely get a prenup.
Of course. Everyone should get a prenup. This is a PSA, literally for everyone. Get a prenup. It's not a joke. It's like, it doesn't, like, literally, it's like saying, oh, I don't want a baby, but don't wear a condom. It's like, no, like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter how much you love the other person. If someone's telling you to do something that is no harm in you, like, doing, and they tell you not to do it, but there's no harm in you doing it, then you should be suspicious of that person. Yeah. Like, you can be 110% in love with someone. Get a prenup. Yeah. Wear a condom. What's the plan is to make a baby? Ridiculous. I mean, or use birth control. Whatever. Just don't be obnoxiously risky. Yeah. Or not even where it's like, oh, we're not being risky because we love each other forever and infinity, and that's why we're not going to do a prenup. No, get a prenup every single time. It's the same as just putting gas in your car. You just do it. Like, it's just one of those obvious things. Anyway, PSA over. What is your opinion on nationality?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are you proud to be a Canadian? Do you think people should be proud of their country?
Sure.
Yeah. But
I do not have strong opinions about anything. I feel like I am patriotic, but not in like an extreme way.
Yeah, you're not
But
a nationalist.
I'm like proud to be from Canada. I think.
Yeah.
For the most part, we're a very good country.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously, we have issues, but
Compared to like almost all the other countries, I think we're doing pretty good. It's like us, and then Australia, and then like a lot of European countries, and then like, and then South Korea. But otherwise, I think China isn't doing too good. America isn't doing too good.
I feel like it's good to be proud of your country, but you also need to recognize the issues within your country. So if you're so proud that you can't recognize,
ignorant to it,
you know, the problems in your country, that's not good.
Yeah, don't
because
be
then
patriotic.
Nothing's going to change, right?
Yeah, it's the same as being like too in love with your sports team. I shouldn't say that. Someone's gonna beat me up. I'm not even gonna continue on that. What is your opinion on the environment?
I love the environment. Let's save it.
Pro environment. Like what we're doing is stupid and it's killing the earth. Yeah, that's an easy one. The only one, like I'm pretty sure.
Climate change is real.
Yeah, the only people where I'm gonna get a different answer is gonna be from older people, older, like 60 plus.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're killing our earth.
Yeah. What is your opinion on tattoos?
Whatever. Same thing. If you want to do it, do it. Like,
but you're not gonna do it.
I'm never gonna get a tattoo.
Except for when you're 86.
Except for when I'm 80, and then I don't have much. I don't have long to live, so why not?
You know you're at the cusp. Yeah, you're in the twilight.
They're not for me. Yeah. I am just too indecisive about everything to ever get one.
Get a permanent thing.
Yeah, because I would probably hate it in like a year. Yeah. So, but if people want to do it, I'm not against it. People like that's my thing. People can do whatever they want as long as they're not harming anyone else.
Yeah. What is your opinion on pronouns?
What?
Yeah.
What's my opinion on pronouns?
On pronouns.
What?
Not grammatical pronouns, but the social aspect of pronouns. His, her, they, their, zir, there.
I was like, talking about grammar. I'm like, what? My opinion? Yeah. What?
No, but on identity pronouns. Like, do you think people should be respected for how they identify themselves?
Sure.
And you should say, or just the whole concept of they ought to be called they, there, they're there.
I have not really thought about it that much.
Plus, it's also not really in either of our lives.
No.
We don't know anybody who's trans or identifies as the opposite gender or
I feel like I would
thinks that they're a non-gender.
I would want to respect them, so whatever they want to be called, I would do so. As long as it's not harmful.
Yeah.
If it gets to a point where like it's be like a negative thing. I don't see how it's negative right now, though.
I do. I don't know if I should give my opinion about it, but I think it is negative when you start making up genders, right? Like there are only two and then in between. That's a scientific fact. So people who are going against that and saying, no, you have to respect me for my made up thing, like they, there isn't a thing. That like pronouncing someone as they instead of he or she, I also... Like, I would do if the person felt strongly about it, but otherwise I wouldn't. I would only call them he or she, like whatever they prefer.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's promoting anti-science.
If someone, though, wants to be called that, it's like if you care about that person, if you're friends with that person.
Then do it.
Do it. But
if a stranger's shouting at you.
But, like, when they go to the government to get, like, a piece of ID, I think they have to be classified as something because otherwise, like you said, we would get into something where we could have, like, a million different...
I think it's 76 genders. Yeah.
Pronouns, and then that would get a little extreme.
Because it can be taken advantage of. You could get in situations where criminals would get different IDs.
I guess I don't know my opinion on it, and I don't really want to speak on it because, like you said, it's not in my life, and I haven't experienced it, so I really don't know how I would react or what my opinion on it would be. Like right now, since it's not in my life, I don't care, I guess. I don't think about it.
Care. Yeah, exactly. It's not in your life, outside of your mind kind of thing.
Yeah, which I don't want that to sound ignorant either.
No,
but
you would respect anyone who you knew.
Yeah.
And whatever they wanted to be called.
Yeah.
Yeah. And me too.
I haven't even seen it in the news or seen it be talked about, so maybe that's why I'm I have no idea what my opinion on it is because
the news doesn't talk about it.
I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Even things that don't happen in my life, you still see in the news, so you're able to form an opinion about it because you have facts and information and knowledge. But I have zero knowledge about that, so I really don't know.
Yeah. Okay. What is your opinion about prayer? Which I think obviously I already know. The power of prayer, is it real? Does it work?
I mean, I don't believe in God or a higher being, so
Yeah.
I don't think it is a real thing.
Then lower
But
tier
again, if
prayer.
someone wants to do it, I'm not going to take it away from them. I'm not going to
I'm not gonna take away from them either.
Like,
but if they were to say to me, hey, is it like, should I do this or should I not do this? I'm gonna say don't do it. But because here's the thing though, because it's like a perverted version of therapy, you know, where you're talking to yourself and you're wishing well wishes for other people and for yourself, and you're hoping for good things in the future. That's what people are doing when they pray. They're doing a therapy session with themselves. It's the same as meditation in a way. They're just extremely confused.
But my
about
thing
reality.
is, it's like, I don't know, if it makes them feel better
and it doesn't hurt anyone else.
And it doesn't hurt anyone, then they can do it. Like, whatever makes you happy and sleep at night, you know? I don't want to take that away from someone.
Yeah. Plus, yeah, especially because the power of prayer is an emotional thing.
Like, obviously I have anxiety, and if praying, even if it wasn't real, is something that helped me deal with that anxiety, then that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's good. What is your opinion on abortions? I think that one we already covered. Or no, we didn't. We just briefly said the word abortion.
You should be allowed to have an abortion.
Abort.
My body, my choice.
Yes. And same to everyone else.
That's all it needs
That's across the board.
Be said on that.
Yeah, it's not like you respect someone who's pro-life. It's like disrespect someone who's pro-life.
Yeah. That's hurting people. That's harming so many people.
Unless it's just a girl talking about herself. She's pro-life only to herself.
Yeah.
Then it's fine. Yeah. And she's fine with other people having the choice. Yeah, it's about choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is this the last question?
This is the last topic point of opinion. What is your opinion on guns?
Gun control now. Gun control. Gun control. Gun
we have that. Okay, so do you know a lot about the Canadian gun control situation? I don't that much either, but all I do know is that you need a hunting license. You can't go around all willy-nilly just being of age and buy a pistol. That's why so much crime happens. So many gun-related crimes happen in America, is because the Second Amendment in America said that any and all persons have a right to bear arms. That was written when gunpowder was sprinkled into a gun, and it took a solid minute to shoot one bullet, and the bullet was a spray factor, so most people lived when they were shot, anywhere around here.
Yeah.
So guns have evolved, and so should their Constitution.
Yeah.
But it's not going to, because back in the day they made rules, and then now they stick to it because it's all they know. Like, imagine creating a country and creating laws like right now, today. That'd be insane. We have so much time left. We got 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Because we're now at the outro. We can talk about anything.
I want to do my plug.
Oh, you got a plug?
You have to do the conclusion, and you got to let me plug before time comes up. Like, come on.
No, you have no incentive to be here other than the fact that you just like hanging out with me.
Well, sure.
I'm not,
but
once you start getting
can I plug?
You can plug. What do you want to plug?
All right.
Talking about bags and guys.
Copyright. Copyright him. But my plug today is I would like to plug my podcast. That I do with my co-host Xerxes.
Oh, yeah.
It's called What's Up With You?
Ooh.
It has yet to be released.
But it's coming.
It's coming, so keep an eye out.
Very nice. Very good plug. And is there any parting wisdom you would want to give to the audience as we leave? Just a general piece of advice. Life advice.
Crazy random happenstance.
That's your advice? It's a quote from a sing-along. Is it a TV movie or is it a show? My advice is drink water, stay hydrated. Exactly, yes. And get a cat. And get a cat. What if you're allergic? Doesn't matter. I'm allergic. They still make me happy. Okay, hey, well, look at that. You're standing testament that just because you're allergic doesn't mean you shouldn't get a cat. That's right. You just have to be careful. That's right. That's my catchphrase. That's right. That's right. Let's do the damn thing. Nice. All right. Well, hey, mystery person. No, I'm going to say by now. Thank you for having me, Sam. I'm not going to say your last name. Thanks for coming. It's me. It's me. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me be the very first guest on the Secret Podcast. Shh. No problem. All right. We got, 19, 18, 17 seconds left. With that time, I'm just going to start ad-libbing things.
Fill up the whole episode.
Hey, who let you in here? We're coming to get you, Greg.
It has to be an hour exactly.
It'd be nice
On
if
the
it was an
dot?
hour exactly, yeah. Here it comes.